make Toujours and welcome to Troubleshooting Tuesday. Today's topic is on thickening batter. And not just like, oh, I didn't mix my batter enough. I've had lots of people ask, why is my batter tightening up and thickening up as I continue to mix? I've mixed 20 minutes and it hasn't loosened up. Let's get into why this can happen. There are multiple reasons that could cause your batter to tighten up as you're macaronaging. One of them could be that your ratios are off. Your wet to dry ratio in your recipe is off. So that could either be a poor recipe or your scale is off. I always recommend checking your batteries on your scale. Put like a cube of butter that you know is 113 grams. Scale it, make sure it's 113 grams reading on your scale, just to make sure you have that calibrated and you know that your scale is on point and it's working. If you haven't had a scaling issue and you have a tried and true recipe that you trust, then another issue that could be causing your thickening of batter is bad almond flour. I'm still trying to figure out why oily almond flour would absorb more. It seems counterintuitive to me, but it seems when students that I've taught have bad almond flour, oily almond flour, it seems to absorb and thicken up your whole mixture and it never gets to that runny consistency. So you could dry out your almond flour in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes at a low temperature, like 250 Fahrenheit. You don't want any browning of your almond flour. You just simply want to dry out that almond flour and have that excess oil removed. You could also have almond flour that is old. So I suggest going with a new bag. Or if this is like a new brand of almond flour that you haven't tried before, it might not be the best. And if you've tried drying it out and it still doesn't work, switch brands. Some brands are just not as nice as others. In my Macaron ebook, I do list some almond flours that have been good and consistent. And one of them is Blue Diamond. Kirkland brand, hit or miss with me. I prefer Blue Diamond, but it does work. It's just grittier. Bob's Red Mill, again, is not as fine as Blue Diamond, but it has great flavor. And then Trader Joe's. Surprisingly, Trader Joe's almond flour has a great flavor. Very fine and wonderful. But I do recommend using almond flour that is blanched, which means you don't have the specks of the skin of the almond flour in the mix. You can definitely use natural almond flour if that's all that you can find, but I find blanched almond flour to just absorb more evenly and helps you have a better result with your macarons. The last issue I want to touch on that could make your batter thicken up would be if you're over whipping your meringue. When you over whip your meringue, you dry it out, and so that could be causing some thickening of your batter and for it to just not be turning out like we want. It's not getting flowy into the right consistency, so make sure you're not over whipping that meringue. So those are some of the issues that could be causing your batter to be thickening up as you macaronage instead of loosening up and getting to that flowing consistency. Here's to hoping these tips help you guys make successful, beautiful macaron shells, and I'll see you guys next week on Troubleshooting Tuesday.